Hey everybody, okay, so we got a different kind of video today. I've been kind of toying around with an idea to do something a little sciencey, a little exploratory into different little aspects of Gwent, the little minutia of, some misconceptions or some things that people might think about the game or about certain archetypes. And what I came up with was an idea to test the idiocy or the idiot-proof nature of certain decks. And maybe about a week ago or maybe a few days ago, I tweeted out asking people to tell me what were the decks or the deck types or archetypes that were very, brain dead or very low decision oriented. Something that is very foolproof. Something where you can still make a lot of mistakes playing it, play out of sequence, out of turn, play cards that you shouldn't be playing, but still have a pretty solid chance of winning. The overwhelming amount of responses that I got revolved around monsters, and more specifically, I got a lot of votes for Gernichora. Big Thrive Gernichora. You can play it, you can make mistakes, it doesn't matter what you play, as long as you pass the right times, you'll be fine. So what we did is we did a I guess you can call it kind of like a bird box challenge for Gernichora. And allow me to explain. Alrighty, so we built a deck, and that is pretty much as low synergy as possible. Kind of decks where card A doesn't have to adequately interact with card B. Things like no orders, cards that are pretty much plug and play. You drop and you move on kind of thing. They're good for the points that they're representing. You might call it point slam, and that's fair. But what we did with this is we took a deck with Gernichora that had very little margin for error. Or very little margin to really screw up cards that you're playing. You play them, they have an effect or they have an impact on the board, they represent points, you move on. You don't have to worry about what they do. They don't have any implications for future cards that you're playing. They're as good on, when you play them as they are if they survive. So here's the deck that we kind of came up with. And how is it a quote-unquote bird box challenge? How do you blindfold play? Well, I didn't physically blindfold myself because doing that, dealing with chat on Twitch, and actually playing the game just wasn't well. So we set up a set of rules, and the rules were everything was going to be, the cards that I play were going to be completely random. The only amount of interaction or decision making that I can make is when to pass and what to mulligan. The other rule was that I was going to use my leader ability every chance I got. Obviously, it's Gernichora, so you're going to do that anyways. But the decisions I'm going to make are when to pass and what to mulligan. Everything else was going to be left up to chance. So the way that we did that was we went to random.org, which is probably one of the most renowned or legitimate random sources of random numbers, either by list randomization, random number generators, etc. They use some type of weird, pixie dust magic to sort of generate random numbers using atmospheric noise and stuff from wherever their server is located. Regardless, it's a random number generator. So the whole point was, if we have 10 cards in hand, you put number 1 through 10 into the game or into the random number generator, hit generate, and then whatever number it shows, that's the card you play. That's what we did. That's what we went for. And that's what I thought was going to be a really painful process, when in reality, we actually finished at about 500. We had, I think it was 4 wins, 5 losses, and 1 draw. And that 1 draw that we had was because I misplayed a Wyvern on the wrong row. Again, that was only to my own excitement, beating a Svabold net deck tier 1 garbage, and we beat it with odd stuff. Now, I'm going to show you some of those games and how they functioned right after this, but take a look at kind of how this worked out, which is kind of interesting because all the cards that we played were completely random. So I'll show you a couple clips of how this worked out, and then we're going to break down a little bit more of the data. Random number generator, do not disappoint me. Let's go now. We're starting with card number 5, right down the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The old Drowner play, the old Drowner opener, meant to really ruin your opponent's hopes and dreams. This is really to put a little bit of confusion in the air, saying, why the fuck would you open with that? Well, that's why. All right, let's go. Card number 7. Damage by 4. Fuck-a-doodle-doo. This does not look good for me. That's not the card I wanted. But at the very least, let's just lock down his dwarven capacities. Oh, we did it! Yes, we did it. We did it. We don't look completely like fools. That's fine, because we're gonna match that with a fat 1. Why? Parasite ruins me. I gotta take Parasite out. Parasite is the one card that has been absolutely just ruining my entire sequence here. I'm gonna go one more. I know this might be the wrong idea, but without a Frightener on board, I'm not too scared. Card number 2. There we go. That's not bad. So we're gonna see how this goes. I would really love a number 2 here. I would love to just kill that straight away. 1. Naturally, we're not gonna get it. All right, we're gonna pass on him. We're not gonna be that guy. That's a win. That's a win. Blindfolded Gernichora. So that was it, and it was kind of amazing to, do this experiment, mainly because of the fact that, I mean, a lot of people are going to say that, oh, it's a brain dead deck, or this is stupid to play, or you can be an idiot and win with this. And in reality, I'm not here to say that the game itself has RNG at the wheel for this, because it's not the case, because you're deciding for every card that you're going to play moving forward. This was just really a haphazard experiment I wanted to do, to take a deck that the consensus of people I asked, or the poll, the unscientific poll I put out, the most people said that big monsters, Thrive units, Thrive decks are going to have the least amount of margin for error, that you can really just play anything and win. And in reality, that's what we did. Now, we weren't playing on pro rank, obviously. That would have been suicide. We just queued into some casual games, and we did we did queue into some pretty good decks, some Sfable decks, some Ethne decks, a lot of decks that in reality you'd probably see on high rank anyways. Now, how they played them, that's none of my concern. If they made misplays, that's fine, because Lord knows I rolled the dice on absolutely every card I played. So in reality, the sequencing of the cards that I played were sometimes just god-awful. There was nothing you can do. I left it completely up to chance, and we let the random number generator dictate what cards we're going to play. So what does this really say? It says that you could get lucky and make mistakes, and that there are decks, in this case for Gernichora, that really leave a lot of margin for you to make errors and still recover. That it's a powerful deck in certain scenarios and certain situations that really you don't need to play flawlessly to have success with. Did we beat up on great decks? Well, we beat Sfable twice, which was really, really awesome. It really, really felt good, completely rolling the dice on that. But in reality, at the end of the day, Gwent still has so much room for making your decisions really, really matter. Sequencing is so important, even in these other decks that really, as we can see, have a lot more room to really mess around with and fool around. Again, this is not a groundbreaking scientific experiment. It was just something we did on stream to have fun, where we want to see what is the most, what deck can give you the most comfort, the most sort of space to just mess around with and be successful with. And it seems like Gernichora gave us a really good fighting chance to do that. So we went, I think it was 4, 5, and 1 or something like that. And I would call that draw a win. Do I recommend this format to win games? Probably not, but it was a lot of fun to do nonetheless. And thanks for watching, and we will catch you on my stream at twitch.tv/watchflake. And yeah, be kind to one another. Thank you so much. Hit the subscribe button, leave your comments, and we'll talk very soon. Adios.